Right, hi guys, and welcome back to the Cruel War from the Belgian Grand Prix. And, well, what can we say? The race wasn't ideal for me. But yeah, apart from that, fairly boring, fairly mundane, and stayed the same pretty much. So, yeah, without further ado, let's kick off with the winner, Lewis Hamilton. Scored his 68th pole position. So yeah, matching Schumacher. So a lot of people are bigging him up about that, of course, which is fair enough. I'm sure you'll admit, you know, it's a great achievement for him. And dominated the race and won it. So yeah, can't really argue with that. And because he's now up there with the likes of Senna and Schumacher, of course, now, and matching records, and no doubt he'll beat the record possibly next weekend at Monza for the most pole positions, I don't think it's fair that I can score him points this weekend. So what I'm simply going to do is put a picture up of his finest hour. Look at that haircut, isn't it beautiful? And I'm just going to pop it there. And I'm going to put hashtag blessed. There we go. Because we all know how blessed he really is. Delightful stuff. So, next up, P2. Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari. Qualified P2, finished P2. See what I mean? Line astern. Yeah, wasn't alright race. Damage limitation for Vettel. Didn't look like he had the pace in practice, but came through and finished second. So, you know, the deficit down in the championship now to just a solitary 7 points. So, he can only afford to finish second once more now before they're tied on points. So, yeah, Sebastian Vettel, a good weekend overall, really, for him. You know, I suppose it could have been a lot worse judging by the pace of practice. So, not a bad race, but not excellent. So, 7 points we'll give Sebastian Vettel for that one. I've scored Bottas 7 points. What a dick. 7 points for Sebastian Vettel there. We'll come to Bottas in a minute, but he'll probably get 7 now because I've written it on there. Next up, Daniel Ricciardo, P3. Yeah, Red Bull managed to fuck up Verstappen's race yet again. But Ricciardo reaping the rewards of that and did a great restart to take P3 and keep ahead of Raikkonen and Bottas. So, great effort by Ricciardo, a good race indeed. And Daniel Ricciardo, I'll work out where he is this time. Oh, he is third, look. There he is, third on the wall. Daniel Ricciardo, solid race. 8 points, delightful. Raikkonen P4, looked like he had the pace in qualifying to probably outdo Vettel, but aborted his last lap because he screwed it up. Not ideal there. And then, yeah, not really up to much. He got the 10-second stop-go penalty, which is the exact same as what Vettel got for deliberately crashing into a car behind a safety car. So I thought that was incredibly harsh, to be honest with you, but he served it nonetheless and looked as though he was going to be able to get fourth, no problem, and stay behind Bottas. But as obviously the safety car came into play, it meant that he attacked Bottas, but he got overtaken by Ricciardo and then just didn't have the pace then to match Ricciardo at the end. So, a bit strange really. You'd have thought he'd have had the pace to overtake a Red Bull, but I think he was happy with fourth, to be honest. So, Raikkonen, not his finest hour, but a harsh penalty for him, and he will get... I'm going to score him 6 points, I think. I don't think it was a brilliant race for him. Could have done better in qualifying. I think that had led to a better race, but oh well. Next up, Valtteri Bottas. Well, I've already scored him 7 by accident, so he can have 7. It was shit race, but he can have 7. Next up, Hulkenberg for Renault. What a great race by Hulkenberg to get P6. 8 points on the board for Renault. And yeah, great race by Hulkenberg. Definitely a very, very good race. So, Hulkenberg, I'm going to give you, you're down there. Yeah, I'll give you Hulkenberg, because I think it was a good race by you. I'm going to give you 9 points. Don't think it was a perfect 10, because it did look like Palmer had the measure of you in practice and qualifying until Palmer's gearbox exploded. Sorry. But yeah, so apart from that, you know, you drove well in the race and proved that you can piss all over Palmer once more, but allowing Palmer the opportunity, Hulkenberg, means it wasn't a perfect weekend, so 9 points. Roman Grosjean, P7, great race by Grosjean. Looked like it could have been a double point score for Haas, and then Magnussen decided to fire it off into the distance. As you do behind safety car, just on a restart, but there you go. But yeah, Grosjean came really well. Was in the points more often than not, scraping the top 10, and then obviously when the Force Indias decided to shit all over each other, he got through and secured 7th. Great race by Grosjean. And for me, I think that has to be a perfect 10 for me, personally. A perfect 10 indeed for Mr. Grosjean, because I thought it was great. He did nothing wrong in qualifying. He moaned a bit in the race, but who doesn't? I've learned to deal with it now after Hamilton's many moans. Yeah, but a great race. 10 points on the board. On my crawl wall, and 6 points in the championship for Haas, which is very good, because obviously they're battling with Toro Rosso, Williams, Renault, all for that P5 at the minute, so that's a decent effort by them. P8 was Felipe Massa in the Williams, a crap qualifying by the pair of them, and Massa didn't take part in FP1 or FP2 really, as he's crashed in his first flying lap and damaged the tub, so yeah, not good for Massa there to go tub thumping in FP1 the way he did. But a good recovery in the race to get up to P11 before the Force Indias hit the self-destruct button, and did very good to get past a couple of cars as well as, and got up into P8. So did a great job to scrape some points for Williams in a race that didn't look like they were going to score any at all, because the pace was dire once again from Williams. I really hope they book their ideas up soon, because, you know, this is not the pace we like to see from Williams. I like to see them in the 2014-2015 season where they're up there fighting for podiums. Now they're struggling to get points again. Such a shame. But yeah, good to see him in the points nonetheless. But because of your FP1 accident and ruining FP2, I think you could have been a bit better had you had more time behind the wheel at the circuit, but not to worry. So Felipe Massa, you're going to get a solid 7 points on your return, because obviously you missed Hungary because of illness. Not sure what it was. I think, was it vertigo? I don't know what was up with him. But anyway, he missed that and he's here now. And he scored 7 points. Well done. Way! Next up was Esteban Ocon in P9. Just the one for that, because that's all it deserves. But congratulations for Force India for once again taking the pair of you out. Was Perez to blame? It looked like it. They had the incident at the line off the start, going down the section just before Eau Rouge, where Perez put Ocon in the pit wall. Lucky that both cars kept going in that situation, to be honest. I thought Ocon would probably retire with suspension damage, but no, he kept going. But then they decided they were going to have a round 2 just a bit earlier on and down the straight before you get to Eau Rouge after the first turn. Ocon had the run on Perez, and Perez just kept squeezing. Now, I'm not being funny. Now, yes, it probably was Perez's fault, and that's all well and good. But Ocon should know that this is going to happen now, because Perez was driving like a twat. So, you know, could you not have just backed out of it, Ocon, for Christ's sake, and just appreciate the fact that your teammate's a knob? No, you decided to go for it, and to be honest, it was incredibly lucky that neither of them were involved in a big accident down that straight. And, you know, especially with Perez with a rear puncture and not crashing at Eau Rouge, you know, it was stupid. It was stupid. I was shouting and swearing at the telly once again. And this is where I'm going to score both of the drivers, both Esteban Ocon and Sergio Perez, who are here on the wall. You've already had minus points before for hitting each other and driving like complete knobs against each other. You're both going to be disqualified from the cruel wall. No more points for Ocon or Perez on the cruel wall. They are gone nil and void. Because I am sick and tired of it. As a Force India fan, I do not want to see Force India cars hitting each other all the time. And what are they doing? They're hitting each other all the time and driving like dicks towards each other. They show more respect to rivals than they do themselves. And for that reason, they're disqualified from the cruel wall. No more points shall be added and no more points shall be awarded. So they will finish the total of this season disqualified. I'm not interested anymore, Force India. You've pissed me off completely. I do blame the management as well as the drivers, because they've clearly not handled the situation properly after Baku. And you're still letting them do this. So if I were you, Force India, sack the pair of them off, get the likes of Leclerc in, George Russell, just offer your drives to anyone decent, because to be honest with you, Perez and Ocon are both equally to blame. They're both driving like dicks. Force India aren't managing it properly. Get rid of the both of them, get a new driver lineup in. Simple as, end of. Next up was Carlos Sainz, P10, looking to score a point for Toro Rosso. They looked like they were struggling once again. Scraped a point which was quite valuable really in terms of where Haas, Renault and Williams finished, so at least it was 1 point less of the deficit that they've already lost now. Decent race by Sainz, although quiet. And yeah, what can we score Carlos Sainz Jr.? He got 8 last time, he's not going to get 8 this time. It was a solitary point, obviously helped by certain incidents, but yeah, Carlos Sainz going to score him 7 points. I think he deserves 7. It was alright, he scored a point. P11 was Lance Stroll. Not really, I didn't even see anything with the race, to be honest. He qualified badly, as did Massa, and missed out on points just, but I can't really fault Stroll. It wasn't really his fault, to be honest. The car's shit, and he just didn't benefit like Massa did with the pit stops and stuff behind safety cars, so not really a lot that could happen. He only finished 10 seconds behind Massa in the end, so not too bad. So Lance Stroll, where are you, my friend? You're there. I'm going to give you 5 points, I think. Fairly average weekend. Not too bad. Bit unnoticed, really. Shame. Daniel Kvyat, P12 now. Didn't score points again. Had a 20 place grid penalty for components changed as a result of the breakdown he had in FP3, I think it was. So not ideal for Kvyat. Was never in the points, never running in the points once again. So yeah, Danny Kvyat, average race. You're already on quite a lot of minus points anyway, so I'll give you 4 points. It were below average performance once again, outshone by science once again. Jolyon Palmer, P13. Wow, it looked like he could have potentially have out-qualified Hulkenberg, but no, that Renault team said, whoa Palmer, you're getting way too ahead of yourself, mate. Back it off. So they blew his gearbox up. I mean, he couldn't qualify in Q3 after getting through for only the 2nd time this season. And then decided that, yeah, that would warrant a 5 place grid penalty. So from 10th he dropped to 14th due to Kvyat's penalty. So he started 14th, and then you thought, well, he's got the car to prove himself now. He could probably charge through the field and finish in the points maybe. No, it was 13th. That's as good as he was getting. Jolyon Palmer. What a load of shit. You've proved your qualifying pace, but now, of course, you're going to blame that gearbox penalty as a result of driving like shit. I'm sorry, but if you had the same car as Hulkenberg had, you could have charged through the field to at least scrape 9th or 10th. Even with all the likes of Verstappen retiring in front and Perez and Ocon getting together, you could have been in the points, mate. But you're not, you shit. You were racing around with the McLaren Honda and allowing that to push you off the track and then going, oh God, Alonso pushed me off the track. You shouldn't be fighting with McLaren Hondas, my friend, should you? You've learnt your lesson. So, Jolyon Palmer, well, I don't know what to score him, to be honest. I don't score him points, obviously. What word shall we have for him? Oh, I think I'm just going to write wank. There we are. A minus twat flat mong wank for Jolyon Palmer so far. Not going well, Palmer, is it? Get rid, Renault. Get rid. Van Dorn was P14. Tried to help his teammate Alonso in Q2 with a slipstreaming down the straight after he was going to get a 65 place grid penalty anyway. But didn't really do much in the race. Not at all, really. It was a shame. Van Dorn, P14. The car was shit. It was so much slower on the straight than every other thing going. I think my Plunge Master 9000 has started overtaking it, to be honest. It was that dire. So yeah, yeah, what we're going to give Van Dorn. I think 4 points for Van Dorn. It wasn't a delightful race. It was average. Below average, really. Unfortunate. Kevin Magnussen, P15, was looking good for some points until after the restart where he locked up his tyres. Nearly crashed into the back of Grosjean, which wouldn't have been ideal. Went off and dropped a load of positions, flat spotted his tyres, had to pit after the safety car had come in, and that was it. Race over for Magnussen. So what I keep saying about Magnussen is he's got to finish the race. It's no point having a good race up until the last couple of laps and then binning it, because it still counts for nothing. So I'm afraid, Magnussen, you're outshone by your teammate in that respect, and Magnussen, you're going to score a solitary 2 points. You deserve points because you were racing alright until that point, but stop buggering it up for yourself, Magnussen. Get some points. Could have been a double points finish for Haas today, and very crucial for the constructors, but no, you fell off. Max Ericsson, P16, and last of the finishers. Yeah, quiet race for Sauber, we knew it would be. Out-qualified his teammate and out-raced his teammate due to his teammate's retirement, so I think 4 points is fair enough for Ericsson. Can't really say much more. Quiet race, got lapped. Not really anything else you can do. Sergio Perez was the last of the classified finishers, but of course retired 2 laps to go because of damage and because they couldn't give a shit and he weren't racing in the points anyway. And yeah, he's been disqualified, so that's the end of that one for him. Alonso was the last to retire, or second to last to retire I should say. Alonso was racing well, got up to 7th off the line, and yeah, then retired with lack of power. Was tumbling down the order anyway due to a lack of power, but then he had even less power than what he had previously, so he was getting overtaken a lot more often, so he just decided, well, fuck this shit, I'm pulling in. So he pulled into the pits and retired, and Alonso, I can't do anything more, mate. Yeah, 5 points. 5 points for Alonso there. It's just retirement again, innit? I couldn't judge him. He wouldn't have scored points, but I think he'd have outraced Van Dorn. That's it. Max Verstappen, once again, the most unluckiest driver in Formula 1. He'd have probably outraced Ricciardo again and would have probably been on that podium again. But instead it's Ricciardo's podium because his car is shit and keeps breaking down. So, Verstappen, what can I say, mate? I don't think there's anything that can be done. It wasn't your fault, but I couldn't judge what was going to happen. But I'm going to score you 6 points on the basis that I think that you would have been on that podium today and not Ricciardo yet again. And then Pascal Wehrlein, the first of the retirements, didn't see anything of him. I think he only completed 3 laps and had a pit stop within that 3 laps anyway. So he was, I don't even know what happened, out-qualified by his teammate Ericsson. And yeah, I can't really do much. 2 points. 2 points for Wehrlein. And that's it. That is the Belgian Grand Prix. So I hope you did enjoy this video. And yeah, thanks a lot for the support as always with the Cruel Wall series. And I will see you again soon. Much love. Ta-ra.